gentlemen, we all have experiences in our lives that take us from one emotional plateau to another. That takes us from the mountaintop into the valley. And one of the things that I want us to understand about slumps is that it is nothing unnatural. There is nothing special about slumps. There's nothing bad about the concept of a slump. People have slumps every day. As a matter of fact, if you understand the way that God made us, slumps are as natural, slumps are as normal, slumps are as inevitable as life itself. Let us think of a few examples that all of us know about. Let me see the hands of all those here who are... No, let me ask the question right. I might get a wrong answer. I was going to ask for all those who are athletic. Let me see the hands of all those who are athletic. All the athletes, please raise your hands. I see 1, I see 2, I see 3, and the rest are being modest. Are you an athlete? You look as if you can run. You charming lady. You look as if you can run. You do. Have you ever had a man chase you? You've never had a man chase you? You mean to say a woman like you've never been chased by a man? I don't believe you. Come on, you got to be kidding. You've never been chased by a man? No, on not many occasions. I see. And on the few occasions that you were chased, did you want to be caught? I see. She's being totally honest. Okay, fine. She's being totally honest. But you know, one of the things that a woman has to do if she's to become a lady, she's got to learn to want to be caught, but yet not to give the impression that she wants to be caught. So she has to at least appear to run. And so I believe one of our great songsters coined the words that suggest that a woman is like a shadow. Yes. She runs from you until what? Until what? Stop pretending that you don't know what I'm talking about. You very well know what I'm talking about. She runs from you until she catches you. Well, I'll leave you to figure that out in one of the other seminars. But the important thing is that all of us who have had to run at any time, or all of us who have gone to the stadium and seen people running, we realize that when an athlete runs, the faster he runs, the harder he runs, the more tired he gets. What happens when he ends the race? He goes into what? A slump. Or you may call it any name you want to call it. But he goes into a slump, and what that means is that he can't run anymore. What he has to do? He has to rest. And then he can rise again. It happens in just about every walk of life. If you go to a situation, you go to a dance, or you go to anything that excites you, and you have a ball of a time, after that, what happens to you? You go into a slump. You've got to rest. You've got to relax. God just did not make the human body to keep on going and going and going and going. As a matter of fact, people like myself who are capable of going very high, and I don't smoke crack. Crack will probably take me down a few pegs. I don't know. I must start selling what I have. But it takes me higher than crack. Trust me. Far higher. But people like myself who can go very, very, very high, trust me, we also have to go very, very, very low. If not, we'll explode. And there's some people that probably don't go very, very high, but then those people don't go very, very, very low. And that is part of what makes up the spectrum of personalities. But regardless of which part of the spectrum you fall into, the fact remains that slumps are a natural part of our life. So there's nothing to be ashamed about. There's nothing to feel sorry about if you feel down, if you feel yourself receding into a slump. But I would like to say to you that just as there is nothing special about slumps, just as there is nothing to rejoice about in a slump, just as there is nothing to congratulate a person for when that person is in a slump, let me also say to you that there is something very special about a man, about a woman, who having found himself or herself in a slump, can rise from that slump and succeed. And that makes a difference between the failures and the successes. Not the absence of slumps, but whether or not we are able to pull within and to hold on without and rise or raise ourselves from that slump. I tried to find a definition for the word slump, and I looked in several dictionaries, including dictionaries of psychology, didn't do very well with what I found, and so I decided to give my own definition. A slump is a period in our lives that is characterized by a temporary and drastic reduction of anything that we take for granted in our lives and on which we have come to depend, and as such that affect the quality of our lives. Let me do that for you one more time. A slump is a period in our lives that is characterized by a temporary and drastic reduction of anything that we take for granted in our lives and on which we have come to depend, and as such that affect the quality of our lives. That definition therefore allows for a physical slump. A physical slump, we've given examples before, a time when the energy that we are accustomed to, the energy that we feel we should have, we just don't have it, and we've got to lie low. Whether at the end of a hard day's work or whether at the end of a very exhilarating experience, it doesn't matter. But we have to lie low because a physical slump has taken over. There could be a financial slump. Well, I don't have to tell anybody in this room what a financial slump is. And some may even cynically argue that that is one slump that we never seem to be able to rise from. Well, I believe that's a part of the reason why you're at this seminar here today. But certainly a financial slump would be a period when you are not having in your pocket, in your bank account, you do not have access to as much cash or liquid assets that you may wish to have. And I'm glad I said liquid assets, because you would know, especially those of you who have ventured into any kind of business, you would know that you can have assets in block and steel. But if you don't have liquid assets, if you don't have cash or anything that can be readily converted to cash, trust me, the feeling can be, as a matter of fact, you can feel almost more frustrated when you know you have 40 million buildings which cannot be sold because people have no money to buy them, and you don't have any money in your pocket. That can even probably result in a more excruciating experience. Then there are emotional slumps. We spoke about those. You're feeling good one day, you're feeling good 1 hour, you're feeling very, 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 very good. And then something happens, and what happens to you? All of a sudden, you begin to feel very, 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 very bad. Now in psychology, we can use a lot of fancy words to explain all this, but I wouldn't do that. Rather, what I will do is remind you of what your grandmothers and your grandparents said to you. The higher monkey climb, more him exposed. Which part him exposed? Tell me. I don't like how it does a stush up on me, you know, and leave out the bottom exposed, man. Yeah, because him climbing up and take shot at him. Higher monkey climb, the more him bottom exposed. What? Our next one says what? When chicken marry hawk then here. These people never went to university and studied psychology, but they understood the facts of life. And one of the facts of life that they understood and that we too need to understand is that there are precautions that we can take that will allow us to enjoy what we are doing, but at the same time prepare ourselves for the slump that we know must follow, and hopefully minimize the losses that will actually be experienced.